Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to another episode 39, actually. I think I'm getting a little echo here, Ray. Hold on a second.
Yep.
Let me just make sure I'm not. This is why I'd always like wearing my headphones. I'm going to put them on anyway, Ray,
Okay.
just for the sake of knowing what's going on over here. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're at the NewOaks AI podcast this morning, this afternoon, this evening, or tonight, wherever you might be in the world. So welcome,
Yeah.
welcome. My good friend Ray Luan, CEO of NewOaks AI. How you doing today, Ray?
Good. Good. Sunny day. How about yourself, Eden?
It was nice today, a little chilly. It was really beautiful yesterday. I think we had 70 degrees here in Michigan.
Wow.
It
Any
was one of
warm?
those, yeah, I'm liking it. It's about time my wife and I took a little walk in the woods. It's still a
Yep.
little damp, but
Yep.
no, we had a good time. What about yourself? You enjoying the spring?
Yeah. Yeah. The weather is beautiful. Just only thing bothers me is the pollen. I'm allergic to the pollen
Oh,
in
are you?
the air. Yeah. So it always happens when the season switches.
I have
Every
a
once in a
brother
while.
with
But other than that, everything's perfect.
good. I have a brother with a lot of allergies, so I know what that's. He used to
Yeah.
just get tore up every season when the pollen
Yeah.
came out or the buds opened up or the leaves fell off the trees. All right, a lot going on as always. OpenAI, the first time to really come out with a big announcement in a little while, I think, as far as that goes. This was kind of a big jump for them. Let's just get right into it.
Yep.
Introducing ChatGPT 4.1 and in the API as well. So tell us, Ray, what's going on over at OpenAI?
Yeah. Oh, I think OpenAI just got another round of fundraising, so that's when Sam Altman start his show again, right? After the money came in and show off his tools and new features about GPT. But I think well, the good thing is that I think OpenAI released GPT 4.0. First of all, the naming is really horrible, right? 4.0, 4.2. I mean, it's too developer oriented. Nobody
I
knows
don't get it.
what it's about. But it's really about coding, autonomous coding. I think
Yeah.
is is OpenAI is facing competition pressure from cloud with Anthropic, which is Cloud 3.7.
Yep.
3.7 is excellent in terms of capability of using large language model to do coding, versus GPT are always lag behind. So they release new model just focus. First of all, is focused on coding. Secondly, it increased the context window up to 1 million tokens, I
Yep.
think, which
Yes,
means
they
that
did.
it has
It's a
long-term
lot of
memory.
space. Mhm.
But it also means a lot of money, right? We all know that the longer the context window is, the cost per prompt will be.
Ah,
So that's why they can only do it after a new round of fundraising, because it costs a lot of GPU powers
yep.
to increase the context window to remember everything. So every time you prompt, it will go back to the previous context or memory,
Mhm.
access the memory, and to answer all the questions, which is a good thing. So that's my take. GPT 4.1 focus on autonomous coding, which is the ultimate game for 2025. I think autonomous coding is the way that AI used to change humans' life, not AI itself. Because without coding, you cannot create a lot of AI agents. Without AI agents, you cannot ask AI to do anything useful for regular people like you and me. So that's my perspective. What about
Yeah,
yours?
unless you're a researcher or somebody that's really into economics and, a
Yeah.
lot of reporting, a lot of analytics, things like that. That's really what the Chat GPT interface has been primarily focused on. A little bit of image generation, I'm sure, for
Yep.
some, flair and finesse, but
Yep.
we've seen where that goes. It just becomes a fad for a little while and it gets right back to the basic core of its structure. And I do want to point out there is something that they've done this time around, which I thought was kind of unique in this case. And OpenAI gave us a GPT 4.1 prompting guide this time. It's a little
Oh, okay.
deeper in
Yep.
depth as far as agentic workflows, knowing how to get the system prompt reminders brought back into the calls, using tool calls, being able to,
Yep.
prompt induce, and the chain of thought. We're dealing with a
Yep.
little different process now than we did before. So we're getting more access to the chain of thought follow up that we can see what the AI is doing on a regular basis. So, yeah, I think it's always been a big improvement watching them go a step at a time. But like you said, the big evolutions happen when they get more funding. It's not
Yeah.
like but the number sequences I think are getting a little silly. Um,
Yeah. So, but so I have a question for you. Do you
yeah, go
think,
ahead.
with that said, long, long context window, long memory, and
Hmm.
also more stronger coding capabilities. So it means that the competition between among business owners
Hmm.
who use AI will be a lot more fierce than it was before. So that also make me wonder that as a practitioner, like you and me and other our customers, business
Sure.
owners, what we should do to be prepared for the coming competition and a lot of new tools or agents coming out in our business life.
It
That's
makes
yeah.
me worry a little. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
looking at it as an agent builder myself. Ray
Yeah,
and I both build agents in one way or another. I work in a lot of workflow builds as
yeah,
well that include agents.
yeah,
And I, we were told originally OpenAI was never going to step into the agent arena, that they were going to stay out of it and leave it for
yeah,
small businesses to fill that gap so that they
yeah,
had a tier of their own that they could work in. And now we
that's
see them, they're just kind of they're balking on that, and they're coming out and saying, "Oh, well, we're going to make agents." And now they're all making agents. So,
yep,
yeah, it takes a bite out of the smaller business or lower end enterprise customers who are trying to make a living off of these, processes
yep,
and automations and AI. But I also see, the opportunity now, I think, for a lot
mhm,
of people to have a better choice. And
yep.
let me just say this, okay?
Okay,
I don't assign myself to an open AI GPT account or an Anthropic account per se. I don't
yeah,
use those tools up front on their
mhm,
native websites. I
okay,
use a tool called Merlin. Okay,
yeah,
so the tool that I have allows me aggregated access to pretty much every model out there that I want to access at any
yeah,
given time. So for me, I think the curated method
mhm,
is more adept to people like us that
yeah,
want to not only, we don't want to get stuck in one model. I'm not a researcher. I don't need
yeah,
DeepSeek Research
yeah,
R1 to be my go-to. So I would rather sit down and say, okay, if I'm going to do an image, I'll go to Dolly 3, or if I need to go to something in an automation, I'll go to O3 Mini because it's the cheapest one out there. I want to be able to pick and choose what AI and what API I want to access. And with MCP
right,
coming out,
yeah. That's
it's
right.
making tool addition so much easier, but it's paving the way for a lot of the laymen to just come in and start connecting stuff and add tools to their apps. So I think it's a
Yeah,
good thing. As to how we're going to be affected as developers, I think it's going to put a bite on us. I think it was the wrong move by some of them to just try to do agents, but I think it helps. I think what
yeah,
they're providing us is another level of agent that we couldn't have maybe built ourselves. And
that's right.
now we can play with it and do more with it, I think. So we just need to adapt and kind of come at it at a different angle.
So
But
yeah, so it means that we are going to have a library of agent tools
yeah.
from now on to just to adapt to, right, or to utilize, create more complicated tasks.
Mhm.
So it's good things that we can do much complex works with AI
Yeah.
in the near future. And the potential threat would be, we all have more competition, but also driving us to learn about AI to use more complicated features or comprehensive features of AI to accomplish stuff. Yeah,
The
which is
mother of
good.
invention is necessity. So we find ourselves in a position where the next builder, its necessity is to, at this point, be bigger, better, and faster than the last one. Okay, that's just what it is. So what does that do for us? If we need something bigger, better, and faster, then it's going to create an innovation sequence that's going to make people, since because there's no limit right now yet. We haven't found, well, they did discover, what was that just recently, Ray? I saw somebody mention that they've discovered a new way to operate an LLM without all the hardware processing power that was necessary just 3 months ago. They've
Wow.
managed to somehow It's basically a lot like you do compression in a video file or an image file. They found a way to compress the data within the LLM so that it functions better with less hardware. So I'll
Interesting.
be sure to bring that. Yeah, we'll have to look that up. I didn't bring the article with me today, and I wish I would have thought about it before the show. But yeah, I just saw that 2 days ago, and I was really impressed by what I was seeing. So just to
Awesome.
cover real quick with the
Yeah.
4.1, 4.1 mini and the newest 4.1 nano. Can you tell me a little bit, Ray, about what the nano category is now? This is a first for ChatGPT. So what's that all about?
Well, to be honest, I haven't dived into the
Haven't?
nano category, but it sounds
Okay.
like nano is it's
Super
a very
tiny?
interesting. Yeah, it's tiny and
That's what I'm
very
saying.
yeah, interesting naming structure.
Yeah, I couldn't see much about it, but they did mention in the article that that was so if you just search, OpenAI 4.1, it's going to be the first thing on the page. So go take a look at their latest announcements on that, and I think you'll note that the Nano I think is a much smaller build that is
Oh, yeah, I
it's
think
performance based.
I think
Yeah,
it's more of a distilled version of the large language
yes,
model, like mini,
yes,
right? It's smaller than
yep.
mini.
It's
It's
smaller than Mini,
cheaper.
yes.
It's cheaper, it's faster, but it's less powerful and in terms of features or capabilities. I
True.
think that's what it's about, the Nano. So that's making me wonder. Well, now I realize that, yeah, it's smaller than Mini because Mini is used distillation, right? They
Yes,
distill
yes, yes.
the large language model. They train a model with less condensed data, and the output is faster. More responsive, but um, less capable in terms
Yes.
of the yeah.
Remove some features from it in
Yep.
that way.
Right.
So, as always, Ray, the NewOaks AI mission reminder for all those out there who may have forgotten. The mission is simple: bring
Yep.
AI to automate your business. I mean, we've been sitting around here helping solopreneurs, teams, organizations turn AI into an idea for an infrastructure. Can you tell me what are some of the biggest customers right now doing within the NewOaks AI platform, Ray? Like, who are some of the guys out there that are really killing it? Have you talked to some of the developers out there playing with the app?
Yeah. So I think the for Nukes, the biggest customers are we do have some enterprise customers. I think the one of the enterprise customers from Middle East, they use the
Nice.
um Nukes AI to either internal tool
Hmm.
to access their knowledge. So
Okay.
it's more of a internal knowledge center or internal knowledge base center. So that because when it's a telecom equipment sales
Okay.
company.
Gotcha.
So they have a lot of agencies. So a lot of times when the agencies are quoting price, say, hey, what's your price for this model of the equipment? And
Gotcha.
then they use AI to pull the data out of Google Sheets and give a different price quote for because I think they have over a couple thousands of product models, different products. So it's pretty complex for them to do the price quote. Previously, you have to use human, right? You have a team of like pre-sales guy to give you a price code
Hmm.
to the agents. Now with that, with Nux AI's agent, the agency is able to use the internal tools to get price code without having to talk to human. I think they save a lot of uh, costs in terms of pre-sales.
Gotcha. And I'm just giving everybody a rundown real quick of the latest
Yeah.
version of the New Oaks AI website so everybody get an idea of what to look for out there at newoaks.ai, where you can find all of what Ray's talking about here and what we talk about on the podcast every week. So make sure you check out the feature set. A lot of things being added every day, and we're going to talk about the next ones as they come up. But other than New Oaks, got other things in the oven, baking and doing things as
Yeah.
well, Ray, over at EZsite.ai. So congratulations on reaching #1 at Product Hunt this week. That's a great accomplishment. So I got to
Thank
give you
you.
kudos on that. Good job. And good
Thank
job to
you.
all the people out there as well that
Yeah.
supported Ray and his addition. So we needed to make sure that those people get recognized as well. So tell us about what's going on with the EZsite AI update, Ray. What's the latest news out there?
So, yeah, so inside AI, we recently released 2.0. So the difference between the first version and 2.0 is that originally inside AI is meant to help developers, business owners to use prompt to build the front end of a website, mainly the front end, with some CRM capabilities. And now you can use EZsite.ai to also build complicated backend, which make it a full stack website. Means that you can have your own database, you have your own CRM built in. You do not need to know very complicated SQL queries, in order to access your data. So we add a sign-in module with both Google authorization and also Facebook authorization, and you can also we also did integration with Google Map, which means that you can verify the address that on your lead capture form you collected from your customers, right, and then verify it was raised by a customer. And we do have a Stripe integration. So with Stripe integration, there are two ways. The easiest way that you already have a Stripe link payment link, you can just throw that into the prompt window, say, hey, create a price plan for my SaaS product. It will do it right away. And even better, we have a Stripe API integration, which means that you can design your subscription model for your website. Either doesn't matter you are e-commerce or you are a SaaS owners, or maybe you are real estate agencies want to sell some like houses online. I mean, you can set up everything with or even online course builders, right? You can sell your online course with Stripe payment. So those are the major updates, just to make the backend more mature and more ready to use. And another new features that we're going to publish is that we are going to build a app store, which means that now the templates is more about the UI. You pick a UI template you like and click it, and then you can continue to build a customized website upon it. But with App Store, we are building like ready to use full stack website. For example, Eden, if you want to open up a e-commerce store, you do not need to go to WordPress or WooCommerce or Shopify anymore. Just come to EZsite, say, hey, I want to build a online yoga equipment e-commerce website, and boom, just one prompt, everything would be ready. It has all the different modules that you can actually enter your product categories and get listed and get you have payment modules. You can also even capture the customer's lead information and send newsletter automatically. So everything will be ready, and with one click to deploy to your Netlify or other like website hosting servers. So everything it's a set turnkey solution. So that's what we're planning to release this week. Oh, I see you just built a nice website.
Like it. And just the other day, I was just poking around, but I did the other last show we were on. We were talking about how it looks like we're blowing up again, thanks to the. It's all right. Just hold tight. There we go. Something to do with the network here. So what we did was we uploaded 6 images that I took from a much older WordPress website. Okay, and I put it up there. Hold on, I'm gonna pause my video inside Zoom here for a second so I can get the image to make correct. So I just dumped 6 images up in the corner there. You can see some of them, and I can pick on the previews. These were just some of the panels that I snapped off of a WordPress site real quick. There wasn't much to it. It was just, a general template. And I said, okay, make me a website. And it was basic. It's nothing, magical or anything like that. But what it was able to do with just 6 images, I thought was pretty stellar. If you had really good images of a website that had a lot of features on it, or a lot of buttons and, pathways to other content, then yeah, I could see it doing a lot better work. But for the time being, it was just one of those things that I got in, uploaded 6 images, clicked the button, and I had a website. So not a bad process at all to get involved in. And then I did do a dashboard. Again, this is my video just choking up because of the screen share. This dashboard took me about 5 minutes to create and includes follow up for automations, to be able to set up
Wow.
automations and operation analytics and things of that nature. Keep track of your customers' communications and tasks. They left as a page under construction. But this is just a really good starting point, and you could go in and maybe grab some Tailwind stuff and just add it to it if
Wow.
you wanted to. And that was a thing I wanted to ask you, Ray. Is
Yep.
there a way? All right, I'm gonna wait until lag slows a little here for us to maybe upload data if we wanted to. Like, say we had a section that wasn't an image, but we had a table that we
Okay.
wanted to add to the website. Would there be a way you could accommodate for people to inject a table into a specific area on the web page?
Right
Or
now,
that'd be kind of tricky, wouldn't it?
yeah, I think right now the solution is not to add a table. Yeah, the answer is yes. First of all, because we have
Mhm.
EZsite core built-in
Sure.
database, which means that you can create a new table. But we also allow you to connect to your own database, which is custom database. So, for example, if your table is built by with SQL Server or PostgreSQL or MySQL, even Oracle, we can definitely allow you to set up a
Sure.
database connection to use that table. To import a table from other database, I think
Gotcha.
that's something maybe we will build in the near future. But that's a good feature request there, Lida.
It just was one of those things. I'm sitting here working with it, and I thought to myself, man, I would really like to add this
Yeah.
table onto this plan. And I couldn't figure out how I would be able to type it in there. I thought maybe if I just added it to the prompt, if I had a link to a table, it would add it. So all kinds of ways around that, Ray. But I'm really impressed with what you've managed to put together with the team over there at NewOaks. So thanks so much for all the effort you guys have put into EZsite AI. But I do want to just let people to remind you, he managed to rank #1 on Product Hunt. That doesn't stop you from going over there and giving more reviews for Ray on his
Yep.
product, because the more the merrier. People will get a chance to see it more and be able to do the same things that we're doing here. So
And
thanks for the community for making it a top product of the day. Go ahead, Ray.
yeah, so first of all, thanks all the community members of Nukes and both and EGSites to support EGSites launch on Product Hunt. And secondly, we are still competing for the top one of the month. So they do have a month leaderboard. So your votes actually matters for us to get better ranking in the monthly ranking as well. So please come to upvote and support and comment so that we can support you guys as always we do.
Absolutely. So I just want to touch on one other point, Ray,
Yeah.
before we wrap up. There's two things that we didn't touch on over at EZsite, and that was the integration for WordPress
Yep.
and an integration for a one-click deploy to Netlify. And I'm not familiar with Netlify at all. Can you give me the rundown on what that's about? I suspect it's a hosting platform or something.
Yes, you're
Maybe
right.
I'll give me the
So
rundown.
both WordPress and Netlify is hosting platform, just like GoDaddy or Namecheap, right? Host your
Okay.
website. So the beauty about Netlify is like if you use GoDaddy or Namecheap, you need to set up CNAME, everything. There's very complicated stuff.
Sure.
But with Netlify, we have one click to deploy feature. We are releasing that feature this week.
Oh,
So
cool.
that the deployment will be much easier for a lot of people who do not know what is Namecheap and what GoDaddy does. It's
Sure.
easier for them just to use without knowing what is Netlify, just deploy the website to a hosting server. We not
Yeah.
know without any knowledge of how to configure the hosting server. And the WordPress is not a story similar WordPress because it's one of the largest website builders already,
Mhm.
right? Traditional website builders. I think it has a very mature ecosystem, plugins ready, so that people can build a lot more customized functions or features. So with our integration with WordPress, literally you can build a full stack website on each side, and then with one click, the website will be deployed to your WordPress hosting server so that you can further extend the features and customize the
Oh,
apps completely. So that's I
wow.
think that's one of the most popular features that our customers are longing for.
Wow, I'm gonna be really excited to try that out because I built an entire CRM on WordPress using some really cool plugins and a lot of features thanks to my friend Jim Hankins over at Cloud
Yeah,
Bedrock. He helped me put a lot of stuff together, and I just really can't wait to see where this is going to tie into WordPress. So that's pretty cool, Ray.
exactly.
Uh,
Yeah.
let's just kind of cover then the gist of it. It looks like EZsite being ranked #1 out on Product Hunt is going to be a big talk of the town over the next couple of weeks. So be sure you go check it out at EZsite.ai and be sure to leave a review for Ray and his team. With the new additions for the social and map modules with Google, Facebook plugins, and Google Maps integrations, along with these WordPress and one-click deploys, I think you're going to have one heck of a product on your hands here, Ray. So 5 minutes to wrap up here. I don't see a lot of other stuff happening, but I did see one thing take place. For those of you, because we're talking AI and we're in that space, I'm just going to throw it out there. Make was another place who just announced its AI agent, and
Yep.
honestly, it came out with not the greatest reviews. It was kind of
Yep.
weak in the knees, you might say. They
Right.
didn't have a lot to show for. The
Yeah.
agent itself is really just you choose an agent, and it's really just about a thread to an AI. It's not much right now. They haven't created like an agent with tools, but you can develop tools. It takes a little more struggle than some of the other apps out there that might build automations with AI because these are separate individual tools that have to be built on separate individual scenarios. You cannot do it all within the same scenario. So when you're constructing an AI agent on Make, it's going to take you a little longer. So why not just head over to NewOaks AI? They've got a little bit
Yeah,
better one over there.
exactly. And also, EZsite also finished integration with Make, so you can build a website with EZsite and build AI
Oh,
agent with
nice.
News, and then we all integrate with Make, so it makes life easier, right? So that they do not build another AI agent.
How could you say that? Make an easy site for Make by making. Well, I'm not even going to get into that. I think
Right.
it's too deep. So thanks, Ray, as always, for
Yep.
coming out to be with us every
Yep.
Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time out here on the webs, where we get together for about a half an hour just to cover what's going
Yep.
on New Oaks and Easy Site AI. So be sure to stop in, leave a comment for us someday. Ring that little bell so you get a
Yep.
notification for the next time we're here. Take care, Ray.
All
We'll
right.
see you next Tuesday. All right.
Thank
You
you,
have a good
Lida. See
week.
you next Tuesday. Bye bye.
All right. See you around.